Hello, everybody. How are you guys? I'm good. I got some bees hanging out over here. Where are you, bud? Trying to live in my hair. Come on, it's too close. What are you doing? Anyway, hi guys. It's really important, guys, to let your kids take up space and make noise. It's so important, okay? Because when you have a child that's talented, right? That is an artist that needs to express themselves, needs to process the energies that are coming to them. Like, an artist is an actual channel. Like, artists channel very important things from God. If you're an artist, that's your mantle in the world. Just like engineers, like there's this saying that engineers are born. You can't just teach a regular Joe to be an engineer. You've got to have the mind for it. Same thing, I think, with art, okay? So, for instance, this brings to mind, like, when I first noticed my son's hand flapping when he'd get really excited when he was watching cartoons and stuff. My initial reaction was, what are you doing? Why are you doing this thing that's so out of the ordinary? Because that's a taught behavior. Like, I was taught that children are to be seen and not heard. And even then, like, I was taught that most humans aren't even supposed to take up much space, let alone be heard or seen. So it really started changing my outlook. Also, like, for my own behaviors, because that was something that my boy, very young, he was doing that naturally. He was excited and his body was just doing what it needed to do to express that joy. That's what artists do, okay? It just comes naturally. So if you have a young child, and at a young age you start to see, like, that they're out of the ordinary, and that there are certain behaviors that they carry out naturally that, like, make them feel better, or it's really important to allow your children to express themselves in whatever way comes naturally, okay? Because what happens is that if you force your child to mask who they truly are, or force them to conform, especially in the home, like out in the world, there are rules to follow at certain establishments, etc., social rules, etiquette, whatever. But especially at home, like where it's supposed to be safe for them, if you force them to even mask their behavior in their own private space, what happens is that an artist continues to be an artist no matter what, and they'll go into their lives and they'll go into their independent lives when they get older, and others will notice their talent. And it's a really amazing feeling when someone says, you can do that thing, you're really good at it, number one, and number two, you shine, you're beautiful when you're your natural self. Please take up space and make noise. There will be others who will see, obviously, the ability to make profit from that. And children who are taught that they need permission to take up space and make noise, then their natural response to somebody supposedly giving them permission, but actually this is a permission that we give ourselves. Well, we give our children this permission as they're growing up to be themselves. And if you don't give your child the permission to be themselves as they're growing up, when they get older, they'll look for that. Although it's just something that they should grant themselves to be themselves at all times, to express themselves and make these wonderful works of art, these beautiful songs, masterpieces. Anything that you create is a masterpiece. I've talked about this before, even, like I said, engineering, coding. everything, making, creation, period. And we all have our very important, specific, unique ways to create. And by putting a cap on that, on your children, you're not only forcing them to mask, and you're basically aiding calcification in your own child when you are putting a damper on their natural inborn abilities. But besides that, in the future, you're setting them up to be a victim, to always be at the mercy of somebody else to give them permission to do what comes to them naturally, to channel, to do what they were born to do. Super important, you guys. Let your children take up space. Let them make noise. And to be completely honest, if you have a big problem with that, it's probably because you weren't allowed to take up space and make noise. And just once, here and now, I give you the permission to take up space, make as much noise as you need to. Give yourself that grace and extend it to your children, because you deserve it and they deserve it. I love you guys. Have a great Saturday. Talk next time. Bye.